Yo, what's going on, everyone? My name is QB, also known as Damien. How's everyone doing today? I have a really interesting, topic I want to touch on. It's the current NBA standings. More specifically, I want to talk about the NBA playing games, and if it was to start right now, as of today, as of the 10th of March, 2024, who would be in it, what would be the outcome, and what does it mean moving forward? As always, sit down, relax, enjoy the video. If you like it, give it a like and subscribe. Any support is appreciated. Let's get straight into it. So I just want to say hand down to Adam Silver for importing this into the NBA. It has been a great success over the last few years, or should I say ever since it's been imported into the league. Last season, we've seen two play-in teams go from the play-in tournament all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and for the first time ever, a play-in team made the NBA Finals in the Miami Heat. I might have some younger fans around here or fans that are new to basketball, so if you don't know how the NBA play-in tournament works, it pretty much means seeds from 7 to 10 battle out and trying to make the final two NBA playoff spots. The 7 and 8 team will have a game, and the winner of that game will go straight into the playoffs. The loser will verse the winner of the 9 and 10 game, and the winner of that game will make up the 10th seed. Look at the Western Conference standings at the moment as we go. You can see right now, as of today, we have the Phoenix Suns sitting at 37 and 27. The Dallas Mavericks sitting at 36 and 28. The Los Angeles Lakers sitting at 35 and 30. And the Golden State Warriors sitting at 33 and 30. The seeds listed 7 to 10 for the rest for the play-in tournament. So let's start talking about what it could mean. Say if it was to start today, right now, this would be one of the most craziest play-in tournaments we've seen yet. We'll have the Lakers holding the Golden State Warriors, and we'll have the Phoenix Suns hosting the Dallas Mavericks. The loser of the Suns and Dallas game will verse the winner of Lakers and Golden State game. And the winner of that game will be the 8th seed and will verse the 1st seed in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The Suns they're probably one of the most streakiest teams that we have in the NBA at the moment. Games that can look horrible, and some games that look like they're really going to win the championship. Trade deadline was massive for them, adding Rose O'Neal and guys like David Roddy's got to come off the bench when they're needed. And same with the Dallas Mavericks. I guess you could call it a little honeymoon stretch. When the player first comes to a team, the first 3 games, they're really good, and then they have a slow little decrease towards after that 3 games. It's kind of looking like that for the Dallas Mavericks. And I guess you could say Daniel Gafford. Dallas Mavericks like to do this to a lot of centers. They kind of just slowly decrease their minutes. And as you know, Daniel Gafford was a starting center for the Washington Wizards. And the Dallas Mavericks just are giving him no more than 15 minutes, should I say. And they would rather play Maxi Kleber. Know what Jason Kidd's thinking of that. Daniel Gafford's probably a solid player. A really solid player, but he can play any role whatsoever. He can shoot mid-ranges, which is also really helpful as a center. As you know, Anthony Davis, Jokic, Sabonis, all these guys are been a massive success in the league, right, from doing that exact thing. I guess Jason Kidd, I'm never going to underestimate a knowledge of NBA coach or coaching staff. I would never know as much as they do. But it's just, it seems really weird as well. And what did they trade to get him? A first-round pick? It seems extremely weird to trade away a first-round pick to have a guy that's only going to play 10 to 15 minutes a game. Yeah, Washington slowly falling into that role as well. He's still getting into between 15 to 18, sometimes 20-plus minutes on an average night for the Mavericks. Are you going to trade away Grant Williams and a first-round pick to get PJ to a team that's really got a lot of assets in the Charlotte Hornets moving forward and is going to have one of the best rebuilds upcoming? I'm not sure if that's was worth it, but we have to see how it works out in the long run. Today, the Phoenix Suns versus the Boston Celtics, obviously the best team in the league, the front runners to win the NBA championship, at least of betting odds-wise. They just get simply outplayed. I guess it's not just a Phoenix point of view, should I say, sorry, but it's just more of how good the Celtics actually are. Brown dropped 45 on efficiency shooting with 10-plus rebounds. His plus-minus weren't great, but I don't really count that as a stat. Still lost by 10 points. Devin Booker didn't play. I think he's still dealing with that ankle injury part of the time. 25 from Bradley Beal, and they get 13 or 15 from Bob Ball, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, it was a whole lot of nothing. The other day, Grayson Allen hit 7 threes in the first quarter and then hit 1 for the rest of the game, and that was it. Kind of falling under the radar, not falling on the radar, but kind of just not over-exaggerating what I'm saying. They're a really streaky team. Gordon, he can be lights out one day, can't miss a shot, hitting 15 points off the bench, solid plus-minus into not having a single point today. When it comes to Phoenix Suns as well, they really need to start inserting Yusuf Nurkic a bit more. We've seen him have a 30-20 game the other week. Tonight he had 11-11, which is solid, which is pretty good for his role, but can you imagine if the Phoenix Suns push him to be a little bit more aggressive? Can you imagine with having KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal out there, 3 threats from the perimeter outside, 40+% 3-point shooters, and having Yusuf Nurkic being absolute dominant inside as well? That's really going to open up the window for the Phoenix Suns and see if they can try dig their way out of this play-in tournament at the moment. I still feel like watching the Suns sometimes. I reckon they will definitely way better in 2021, this point of the season, with like around 18 to 20 games remaining on their schedule. The reason why I think that is because they don't have a point guard. Yeah, I'm sure they got Devin Booker, who can pass the ball, facilitate, but he's no Chris Paul. He's definitely ain't no Chris Paul. He's no Drew Holiday. He's no Jamal Murray. For me, that's what I really think the Suns' concern is at the moment, of not having a primary ball handler. I guess, as I said, Devin Booker is stepping in and doing a fantastic job in the role so far. But as I said, he's none of those guys I just listed before. Going back to the Dallas Mavericks, I'll probably wrap up the talk on the Suns right there. The Dallas Mavericks are probably up and down team as well, I could say. I wouldn't call them streaky. They kind of just win some here, lose some there, win, lose. They alternate wins and losses quite a bit. There was one stage where they had 6 games in a row and it was just alternating between wins and losses. Games with 30-point triple-doubles in 6 straight games, that is unbelievable. He really should have more respect on his name when it comes to the MVP race at the moment. He's not even top 3 according to NBA.com's NBA MVP list, because he's just always consistently good. Like the last few years, he's just been consistently good that he doesn't really stand out as much as guys like Jokic and SGA does. My personal opinion, I really do think SGA should be MVP, but that's a topic for a discussion for another time. But I just really feels the motive, I guess, when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks. It'll probably take Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving to have 2 massive games to have a chance to win that game. You're looking at maybe Kyrie and Luka scoring 25 plus each. Tim Hardaway Jr. as well coming off the bench. He's really either make or miss. Like, you can't afford to keep him out there if he keeps bricking shots. But when he's streaky, you want to keep him out there for as long as you can. Of late, it has been looking good. He's having, over his last 10 to 15 games, he's having some of the worst shooting percentages of his career, which I guess is just a slump. We're seeing Tyrese Halliburton go through a slump right now. I guess for me, the main thing for the Dallas Mavericks is probably Jason Kidd to try to utilize Daniel Gafford a bit more and try to get him in the rotation a little bit more. I feel like he deserves much more playing time than Maxi Kleber does, but obviously Kleber has been with the Dallas Mavericks for a lot of years now and has hidden some clutch shots. Obviously, he had that big game win against the Lakers last year. They kind of crumbled their playoff chances or clinching a playoff spot, but they got in through the play-in tournament anyways. But he's hit some big-time shots, and I guess he's just been there for a while. That's why Jason Kidd probably has all the faith in the world in him. The next team in the Western Conference play-in, we're going to talk about my Los Angeles Lakers. I guess when it's all said and done in about 10 or 15 years' time, we're going to look back at LeBron James and Anthony Davis as probably around the high to middle end of the pack, one of the best duos of all time, right? At least in recent NBA history, I should say. They're obviously 2 top 75 players of all time, probably top 15 to 14 top players in the league. If you however you want to rank them, they're definitely in that top 15 spot. For some reason, they can't touch Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. I actually heard Kenny Beecham say this, shout out to him, but it's just really, they just can't touch the Nuggets. I guess the Nuggets have really got the Lakers down packed. With the Lakers and Nuggets, well, it's really funny. Last season, the Western Conference Finals, that's probably one of the closest sweeps you're ever going to see. Game was just coming down to rise, the same thing all game. Both teams battling it back and forth. In the last 2 to 3 minutes, the Nuggets would just take control and finish with a 6 to 11 point lead. Beside the point, I don't want to keep talking about how the Nuggets keep whooping the Lakers' ass. It makes me sad. It makes me sad, all right? As far as I'm aware, what Anthony Davis said in the post-game interview the other day, they don't really care about where they seed in the playoffs, I guess. But if you're in that 9 to 10 spot in the play-in tournament, you really don't want to be there if you're the Lakers. Putting yourself at risk as of a one-game elimination. Personally, as a Lakers fan, I don't think they're going to make it up to that 6th seed. But if they get somewhere between the 7 and 8, I'll be really happy with that. But the main thing to me when it comes to my Lakers is really utilising D'Angelo Russell. The other day against Denver Nuggets, Darvin Ham decided to play Cam Reddish majority of the fourth quarter over D'Angelo Russell. I guess the main enforcement or reasoning that Darvin Ham did this was to have Cam Reddish guard Jamal Murray, right? And did it work? No. Murray was just busting his ass, I guess. Point where he's giving you buckets or assists 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 possessions in a row. If I'm Darvin Ham, I'm not really too stressed about leaving Cam Reddish out there and bringing D'Lo back in. D'Lo's been on a heater the last few months. Any NBA fan can agree with that. I'm not saying D'Angelo Russell is obviously really good on defense, but he's not as bad as people say he is. Obviously, they straight up just exposed him in the conference finals last year. When you have a team attacking you every single possession, I'm pretty sure like anyone's going to kind of fall under that pressure and then be labeled as, I guess, a cone. But anyway, D'Lo wasn't the greatest in the Western Conference Finals a season ago. But I am confident he is playing his best basketball of his career. Heck, the last 2 months, his percentages are career best. His assists, to turnover efficiency is top 5 in the league. If the Lakers can find a great way to keep him on the floor, I'm happy with him playing 35 minutes game. I really am. 35 to 40 minutes. Do it. Why not? He just dropped 44 points on the Milwaukee Bucks. They were chucking Pat Covington at him, Patrick Beverley. They even chucked McLeod Beasley at him. I don't know why Doc Rivers would do that, but it is what it is. And he just kept finding the open man. He had 9 3-pointers. He shot 9 of 12 from the 3-point line. Once again, the Lakers get a really impressive win without LeBron James in the lineup. That's something I'm going to talk about in the next video as well. Why that keeps happening, I guess. With the Lakers, we have to see what happens next because Golden State are literally 2 games behind them. And Anthony Davis hurt his shoulder last game, taking a charge from Giannis. It wasn't a charge, it was a blocking foul, but he was attempting to take the charge, and Giannis kind of digged his elbow into his shoulder. And anyone who was watching that game was on nationally televised television. Anthony Davis was pretty much playing with one arm for 1.5 quarters. It wasn't a good look. He's questionable heading into tomorrow's game against Minnesota Timberwolves, but we just have to see what happens. And probably like another standpoint for me with the Lakers, they're starting 5 over the last 10 games of Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis has been top 8 most consistent starting lineup since that's been inputted by Darvin Ham. Obviously, they've moved around quite a bit because Jared Vanderbilt's out of lineup. Who knows if he'll be back this season as well. It surprised me. Spencer Dinwiddie has not been what I thought he was going to be, like signing with the Lakers. But his defense has really taken a massive jump. That's something I've noticed a lot with Darvin Ham, even with Cam Reddish. He's managed to turn Cam Reddish into a really good on-ball defender, and Spencer Dinwiddie had that big-time block against Damian Lillard, and even then was playing really solid defense against the Milwaukee Bucks all night. Obviously, Dame's going to get his, Giannis going to get his, but if he can do his best to slow down the role players, I guess that's all you can really ask for as Lakers fans, I guess. Obviously, that bench, speaking of on the starting lineup, their starting lineup has been carrying. I think they're like 4 games in a row, they got 15 plus points each in the starting lineup. But their bench has not been great. We're yet to see a full healthy Lakers squad yet to this day. At the moment, the injury list is looking like Jared Vanderbilt, Christian Wood, and then you obviously have Gabe Vincent with that surgery, which I don't think we'll see at all this year. But who knows what happens? I'm pretty sure Jared's getting evaluated at the end of next week, so let's see what happens from there as a Lakers standpoint. But that's enough for me about yapping about the Lakers. I could do it all day if I wanted to. Let's move on to the Golden State Warriors. And now Golden State, obviously, the best shooter of all time on the team, Stephen Curry. You can't leave him out of the mix. Steve Kerr's rotation to have Klay Thompson come off the bench has honestly been kind of a genius move in my eyes. Klay Thompson had that big game. The first game of it happening, had 35 points, shooting 60+% from the field, and total of inside and outside the 3-point line. Braden Pompajewski. Oh man, if Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama were not rookies this year, he would have that award wrapped around his pinky. It's been fantastic, and it hurts as a Lakers fan that we passed on him and Ken Whitmore. But it is what it is. Jalen Hood-Schifino, I'm pretty sure, has less than 20 points overall in NBA games. And there's been a few fair times that Lakers games have gone to garbage times, and he's had his opportunity to shine. But it just shows a big skill gap, I guess, between the G League and the NBA, because he's dropping 20-point triple-doubles, 30-point double-doubles in the G League, and then he can't get a bucket when it comes to NBA. But that's another topic for another time. I'm absolutely loving the development of Jonathan Kuminga. He obviously had a little bit of growth spurt over the last offseason, kind of being that untouchable guy when it comes to Golden State. There was that one point where towards the trade deadline, I really thought they were going to move Klay. If I'm Steve Kerr or the front office of Golden State, I would kind of just say everyone can go besides from JK and Steph, obviously. They kind of been stringing some games together. You got to keep in mind they did start the season with the second most hardest schedule in the league, because they're currently going through that hard schedule. They versus Minnesota tomorrow. They just played the Milwaukee Bucks. You can start getting a nice little win streak together and take advantage of Lakers having a really tough schedule. I honestly see them hosting that 9-10 playing game. But Golden State is another team as well. I don't think we'll see them in the 6th seed. I can only really see the Suns really getting out of the play-in, and obviously the Kings are just right above. One thing I'm going to touch on as well about Golden State. If you're a Golden State fan, I'm sorry. But losing by 50-plus points in modern NBA is pretty disappointing, if you ask me. Obviously, Golden State got their back split out by Boston Celtics at the Garden the other week, last weekend, I think. I'm sorry. I just thought I needed to touch on this just a little bit. It was weird because Draymond Green was kind of said in the post-game interview, Steve Kerr implemented a plan 15 minutes before the game, and that plan was pretty much just to leave Jaylen Brown wide open. His first two shots, like, all right, this might be working, but then he started knocking down shots. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Celtics really utilized, shout out Mazzulla, by the way, the Celtics really utilized of what Golden State were trying to do. Running screen and rolls. And obviously, Tatum was getting open as well. Switching Nats with Jaylen Brown. Having Pritchard and Cornet and those guys come off the bench is also pretty massive. If you're going to go in a post-game interview and say 15 minutes before the game that was going to happen, that just can't be it. That's not a thing that kind of just lets you lose by 50 points. Draymond trying to cover his and his teammates' asses, I guess. And they sat everyone at halftime. Because it was 50 plus points halftime, ended up being 50 plus. That just show how good the Celtics depth actually is. There were some questions coming into the season, obviously trading away Robert Williams and such. Celtics plan to really answer the call this season so far. But anyways, back to the Golden State Warriors. We all know Stephen Curry is going to get his every single game. He's going to get his points. He's going to get his shots up. But obviously that Celtics game, 4 points, pretty disappointing. But for me, for Golden State to really take the leap and try to get over the Lakers and maybe try to work towards that 8th sort of seed, it's having all hands on deck. Pretty much his games where Curry's going 35-40, shooting 50+% three-point line, going absolutely ridiculous. Having the next scorer being Draymond Green, 11 points, shooting 30%, 40%. When you have, I guess you can argue that Klay Thompson might be a Hall of Famer. When you have a Hall of Famer coming off your bench, or should I say 2 Hall of Famers, Chris Paul will be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. It will probably wrap it up if he gets a ring, which I don't think is going to happen. Really should be able to have those 2 guys come off the bench, especially now towards his last sort of stretch at the end of the season, and really lock in and be like, yo, Klay, Chris Paul, we need you guys to kind of how would you say this? Kind of just like get into your inner motion self or whatever and be the players that I know you could be. If I was Steve Kerr, that's what I'm saying to them. Obviously, Klay Thompson is a massive reason why Golden State have this dynasty, right? What I'm saying for the Golden State Warriors, if they can, somehow do that and have bench production and starting line production, helping Steph Curry, Braden Pomajewski facilitating the ball the way he does, being a triple-double threat, I guess you could say, every single night. I don't see why the Golden State would drop down below the 10th seed. It'd be pretty disappointing because the Rockets are 5 games back. It's a crazy league we're in. Rockets' schedule is looking all right. Not as good as Golden State's, though. Golden State should be able to take care of business the last couple of weeks. But we just have to see what happens from there. So, in conclusion, I'm just saying Golden State, if they can get production from their bench and obviously starting lineup other than Stephen Curry, I feel like they'll be all right heading into the playoffs or the play-in tournament, should I say. Waffling or yapping, however you want to call it, way too much in this video. I just want to touch on real quick and what it could mean for the first seed in the Western Conference. At the moment, we're looking at OKC. Can you imagine OKC having a greatest year as they have? Shout out head coach, coaching staff. They're doing a great job with this team. Jalen Williams is going to be a future All-Star, in my opinion. SJ is doing his thing. Chet Holmgren is doing his thing. And they're really looking like a complete team. They're still going to have a few more years before they can really do some real damage come playoff time. But can you imagine if they get like the Lakers in the first round? That's not a good matchup for them. The Lakers obviously won the season series this year, 3-1. And they just don't match up good. Anthony Davis kind of just has his way with Chet Holmgren, obviously him not being the weight that he probably should be or he should be working towards. Kind of just really takes advantage of that. Same with LeBron James, kind of just bully the ball. But who knows? This is the NBA where amazing happens. I know everyone knows that campaign or you've played the early 2Ks. I'm talking about 11, 12, and 13. This is why we played NBA. Anyway, it's enough cringiness at the moment. But yeah, anything really can happen. It's not just a saying. It's really a genuine thing. We've seen a lot of, I guess, like out of nowhere. We've seen the Miami Heat, as I said, the really start of the video, go from a playing team all the way to the NBA Finals and stealing a game from the Nuggets, which is massive. On OKC, I'm probably trying to avoid the Lakers come playoff time. Same with Minnesota. The Lakers do match up really well against Minnesota. Even Golden State match up against OKC and think really well. Same with Dallas and the Suns. So I guess the overall conclusion I'm trying to say, this is going to be the most craziest playing tournament we've ever seen, regardless of the outcome come end of the year. I'm going to make another video probably tomorrow or next day talking about the Eastern Conference side of things, but I just really want to get out how stacked the Western Conference playing tournament could really be this season. That's going to wrap it up. This has been a 20-minute video. If you guys have stayed to the end, you guys are a bunch of real ones. I appreciate any love and support, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.